YouTube, how we doing? PPS here. It is time to go past the prop. We have a NFL/NBA show here with this game not showing us too much. But join as always, Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Like you said, I wish we had a little bit of a better game to talk about. I mean, on first glance, it's too, I guess, I don't know if the Texans are a playoff contender. I was going to say that. I mean, borderline a playoff contender, but the prop market's a little iffy, but I am excited to be back, excited to dive into the game a little bit, and hopefully you're going to get us a winner over in the NBA as well.
Yep. Be switching over there. That's the nice part about having multiple sports kind of going on right now where, we can, make our adjustments when we have to. So good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Monday's game, Stu. Anything catch your eye? Obviously, I'm in on the Cowboys. Obviously, I'm a fan. You guys know how big of a Dak fan I am as well. So anything catch your eye from there? Obviously, a lot of new additions in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just mad I didn't bet more. Like I said, I bet the Cowboys. I bet some -3. I'm just kind of mad I didn't make that like an official play. I think I might do some more like spreads moving forward because that one was just like, what am I missing here? The Raiders fucking suck. So I see a lot of people getting excited about the Cowboys. I don't really feel the same way. If they didn't do that, I think it would have been a disappointing game. I think they did what they were supposed to. I would say the one angle I think for betting going forward that at least I'm going to try to look at would be people overrating the Cowboys rushing defense a little bit now that they obviously added in Williams. You get Overshown back. You get Wilson there. Once again, Logan Wilson fucking sucks. It's really funny hearing people mention him as like a big upgrade. It's like the dude got benched for 2 rookies in Cincinnati and he can't cover me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think everyone's going to get real fired up. But in reality, that Raiders offensive line, like we said on the show, is the worst in football. Like, it's truly the worst in football. So, yeah, you held Genty to whatever 1 yard per carry or 0 yards per carry. But, like, that's what you should have done. That team is absolutely dog shit. So, yeah, it's one of those where I think people are now getting a little bit hype on the Cowboys. I was watching Pat Mayo this morning, and he was talking about, like, oh, that D-line, they're, new guys, they're healthier, and I don't feel that same optimism. If you give them a real offensive line, I think they're going to look a lot like that Cowboys defense from earlier in the year. But they're still a fun team, one of the most fun teams in football. So I'm glad they're getting a little bit better, and I hope they can make that playoff run for you, and hopefully get Dak in that, conversation because that would be fun, and they're a fun team, and I want them to do well because the Redskins are out of it, so I don't give a fuck, Like, I hope we lose all our games to them. I want a better draft pick. So they're good TV, and I hope they can keep cashing us some tickets.
Yeah, they get the Eagles at home. That's a big game this week. They have the Eagles at home, and this is the one you got to win, dude. It's going to be tough because obviously, the Eagles are. But I think this is a good spot to get the Eagles after a hard physical game like that, and then you get to go into a little fast track there. Obviously, what I love the Cowboys to push to make the playoffs, just to make my MVP at 70-1 bet feel a little better, sure. But for me, I'm just hoping for yards, right? I mean, he's only 100 off the top guy who obviously Drake May's 300 ahead, but he's got his bye this week. So him and Herbert, the top 2 guys, have their byes this week. So this is a chance. This is his chance. He's in 5th place. He's like 50 yards away from all the other 3 guys where I think it's Stafford and Daniel Jones. And hopefully it'll be a lot of Jonathan Taylor this week for Indy. But yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, hopefully they can get the win there. And just it's as much as I hate it, because the nice part is I don't watch ESPN anymore because they all fucking suck. So I used to hate it when the Cowboys were good, right? I used to hate it because then I have to listen to all these dudes. But luckily for me, I stopped listening to Stephen A. Smith like 2 years ago. The dude's a fucking bum. So I really have nothing against him now. The only reason I didn't like him was because everybody else talked so much about him. So I'm excited to talk about our recap here and do that. But hey, shout out Dak, man. I told you he's gonna have one of those games where it just gets everybody talking about him again. Right? That was kind of what happened there. I'll kick it over to you to start us off.
Yeah, cash, baby. Turpin under 1.5 receptions. You guys know I'm a big Turpin guy. If I'm going to take the under, I got to go through some emotional distress to press that button. So glad it worked out. He did have one catch for 0 yards, so I think that the yards maybe would have been the better look, because that's what I was stressed about, was just getting those screen passes and breaking one. But hey, it worked out. He went under on both of them. And yeah, I just felt very happy with this call, obviously. I mean, a lot of mouths to feed on that offense, you know what I mean? And even in a high-scoring game where they dropped 30, it's like I still have a hard time seeing him playing that much. So glad it worked out. And yeah, Turpin, shout out to you. Keep crushing on special teams. You know, no hate over here. Still a big fan.
Yeah, we'll talk here in a second about who I'm starting in fantasy this week with all my injuries and buys. It's a fan of the show for sure. Dak 225, Ferguson 4. Dak did his thing pretty early. I mean, he is like 190 at the end of the first half. Ferguson made me sweat a little. He made me sweat a little. I will say that it was not a sweat-free cash, but did get the job done. Did catch another touchdown. I believe he is leading the NFL for tight ends and touchdowns right now with 7. So, hey, shout out Wisconsin, boy. Like I said, Badgers aren't very good, so I gotta enjoy the people putting up touchdowns in the NFL, repping the Badgers. So, shout out to him, and shout out to Dak again. Cashes in on our long shot. I almost went 4, but I didn't. I did 3. He would have cashed 4 for us, but plus 215 on 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that was a first half cash. At plus 215, we'll always take those. Shout out to the Raiders for, allowing a lot of rushing yards in the middle of the field, but in the red zone, they did stifle up, because that's usually when Dak gets screwed, is on those like 2-yard carries for Javonte Williams. And Malik Davis got some carries and got some run in there as well. So luckily for us, Vegas shut them down in the red zone, and we're able to have Dak throw it in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was looking for a parlay piece for Dak 1.5, and I just couldn't find anything else. Like besides Dallas money line, but I already had that with Genty reception, so I was just like, fuck, and I just ended up staying away. But I really like this one. Obviously, I grabbed a little of the 3+ as well, tailing you here, and yeah, it was nice. Raiders' worst red zone defense in football in terms of passing. They're the biggest pass funnel in the red zone of any team in football. So it was on full display. And when Dak's got Ferguson, he's got Lamb, he's got Pickens. There's a lot of great options once you get down there. So great call here, and glad it cashed a little bit sweat free.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm a little bit more, optimistic for them against the Eagles offensively, at least, because of how good Pickens has looked with CD back. Where now Quignon's got a pick, right? And where are they throwing to Dory Jackson? Because that's where I'm throwing the fucking football, bro. I'm throwing it wherever he is. So if that guy is covering either one of those two, it's just going to be a field day on that side. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit higher on them in that matchup, just at least for Dak props. Because he gets to play at home, and you get to have 2 number 1 receivers at this point, like 2 top 10 receivers, which before the season people were just kind of throwing George Pickens in it, like, oh, he's there, but he's showing out, man. He's showing out, so good for him.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm with it. I think, and it might be another good Ferguson game next week as well, because I think Mitchell probably sees mostly Pickens, because Mitchell's not going to go to the slot. And they've got the white guy Cooper DeJean in the slot over there, so that's a pretty good matchup for CD as well. So I think you could see a lot of that Ferguson. Jihad Campbell is a great coverage linebacker, but he's very bad in run support, and Nakobe Dean is great in run support and kind of bad in coverage. So Nakobe Dean's playing a lot more now, which is good, I think, for Ferguson. So obviously we're a little bit away from that, but that would be my early look, is just another Fergie week next week.
Yes, sir. Hopefully. I have to let's put this out there. I know Flournoy did not cash, but he did catch a touchdown. I think that was like 9-1. He caught the 2-yard touchdown. What are the odds on that?
I had a couple of bucks on it. I should have talked about it more, but it is what it is. Still glad he got something out there.
Yeah, this is our record. Obviously, a good week this week, pushing us back up where we need to be. Still, I'm going to give you one quick guess. I want you to guess. It's not somebody playing in this game, but we got to guess, because I have Vlad McConkey on bye this week. I have Drake London injured this week. Luckily for me, I was able to stream up and grab Darnell Mooney first off my waiver wire and grab him. So he's in my starting lineup. Guess who is wide receiver 2 for me this week for my fantasy team with all these injuries and buys?
Wait, did you have him on your team already, or did you have to pick him up?
No. He's probably sub 10%.
Oh boy.
These leagues.
Because I was trying to think of just like guys I could pick up. Is it a Packer or no?
No.
Okay, I was gonna
It's a
say,
wide receiver. It's a wide receiver.
are you rolling like Bo Melton or something like that?
No.
Well, let me go Calvin Austin.
No.
Hmm.
Fan of the show, bro. Fan of the show.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those guys. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Hunter Renfrow, but he's not even fucking on a roster, so it can't be him.
When I say it, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, yeah."
All right, give it away or something. No, it's not Van Jefferson. I was gonna say, get out of here with that bullshit.
No. I'll give you one more, Stu. I think you have to guess this. I think you're going to get it. Think about the injuries that have happened throughout football that need somebody to fill in.
I'm glad you have more confidence than I do.
I think you're gonna get it. If I give you one more guess, I think you'll get it. Friend of the show on a team that's got some injuries, wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to look.
Is it a Cardinal? Is it fucking Greg Dortch?
Yes.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, it is. Greg Dortch is getting a start this week. I told you guys, our league does return yards too, so like it's like a floor of 4 points. And obviously he cooked last week. So I'm going out there. Obviously Marvin Harrison got ruled out today. So I went Greg Dortch, finding his way to the starting lineup, and this is a must. Okay. I need these points. Brissett just chucking that baby around. No DeMarcado or Harrison. So it's going to be pretty much McBride in the crew.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I got that. I hate guessing games, but we got there eventually. It took a little bit longer, but we got there. Of course. It had to be Dortch, of all guys. And yeah, I mean, not even a bad play. I mean, Brissett set the freaking record for pass attempts last week. Like, he's coming out firing. So, Dortch, the weird thing, though, is he had like 3 catches in like the first 5 minutes. And then it took him till the fourth quarter to get his 4th or something? Because I had a little bit of 4 catches at plus money. And it was just like a weird kind of long gap where he just wasn't super involved. But yeah, Dortch is just that check down reception. If it's full point PPR, that's even better as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, I like Dortch. Yeah, he might even be in consideration for a play for me, honestly, like betting wise this week. If that wide receiver room is still messed up as it is, I'm not buying Michael Wilson, the GOAT wide receiver 1. I don't know if that's I don't know if I'm going to support that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to just think he's going to flip. But yeah, they're still 3-point dogs against Jacksonville. So
yeah.
All right, let's move in to this game, Stu. I know we're not having any bets in it, but we'll talk about it. Bills at Texans, +6 is the line right now. Texans at home, 43.5 point total. What's catching your eye here?
Yeah, I mean, this is actually the one kind of easy part looking at this game, in my opinion. I'm trying to even see if there's a 44. I like the under in this game. I definitely like the under. When I'm looking at props in this game, I'm looking at unders as well. The Bills, I mean, even against the teams like the Chiefs and stuff like that, they play at a snail's pace. They like to run the ball. They like to get James Cook going. We know the Texans are a fantastic defense. The Texans couldn't even score on the Titans last week. They were struggling. That was a painful game. And every week, I think actually painful is a great way to describe the Texans offense. When you're like jogging and you have like, your ankle's messed up or something, and you're just like just a worse version of yourself. That's what it feels like every time I watch the Texans on offense. It just feels like they're struggling. It feels like everything hurts. And now you get a team like the Bills, which, yeah, the Bills aren't great on defense, but I don't know. The problem with the Texans, they spread the ball around a ton. They have inconsistent running back usage. Do I really trust Woody Marks to kind of be the guy that wins this game? Because that's where you beat the Bills. They kind of suck against the run. You can slow it down. You can keep Allen off the field. But do I think Woody Marks is going to be able to do that? I don't think so. So I think the Bills probably win. The spread, I don't know. I don't have a strong take on the spread, honestly. If I like the Texans, I would bet the Texans money line instead of +6 because they're either going to win 13-10, or they're going to lose 38-12. And I don't see much of an in between. So I would just rather, I think, go Texans money line if you like them and think they can grind this game out. But the Texans have everything you want with those defensive teams except a running game. If you can't run the ball, you're just giving it right back to the other team, and then your defense is more tired. So I don't know. I don't know if the Texans defense is going to be enough to get it done, but I just think it'll be slower. I think it'll be uglier. And even if the Bills score 30, Can the Texans get 13 or 14 to cover? I don't know. I don't really feel very confidently. So and I know the Bills defense is bad. But yeah, I'll take the under in this one. And if you can get 44, that would be the preference.
Yeah, I mean, they were averaging, 5.5 yards a carry last week with the Buccaneers. I think it might have been more with those breakoff plays by Tucker. So that, adds it even more.
Sean Tucker is better than Woody Marks, like easily, in my opinion. I'm a Woody Marks fan as well.
No, I'm just saying, like, even with, like, offensive line stuff too, like they have a better offensive line, in my opinion, too, for the Buccaneers too. So I don't know, man. I wish that they came up with some, like, more, unique things with Houston, but it's all just like running inside zone. There's like nothing, like Woody Marks is not an in between the tackle running back, bro.
Exactly.
That dude's fast, bro. Get him to the outside. Like, the amount of times I watched Woody Marks -2 yards, but then they give him a pitch and it's 8 yards. I'm like, what? I mean, what are we doing here, dude? That last drive of the game for Houston that won it for him, Woody Marks had like 18 yards rushing on that drive. None of them were freaking in the AB gap. They were outside, and they let them actually read the defense and go. And it's like, dude, what are we doing? Why don't we do this more often? So, I don't know. I like it. I think I might. Oh fuck! I can't take an over in this game. But I think I might have to lean with the Texans just for the sheer fact that I think this is going to be the slowest game ever. It's a Thursday game. Bills coming off of a high of a 6-touchdown game. I think that it's just going to be just a fucking punch in the face every single time. Just like a sludge fest, bro. I just can't. I don't see big plays happening for either team either.
Yeah. And also, when was the last time we had a good primetime game? Like, I guess Monday kind of counts. The Cowboys were kind of interesting. But, like, if the Cowboys-Raiders is our best primetime game in, 4 weeks? I mean, every single one has been a slow, disgusting, if you're betting overs, you're getting destroyed kind of game. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know when was the last good primetime game we even had. And look, with the Texans, I don't know if they can make any promises to break that curse,
Yeah, and for me at least, we have Thanksgiving is the next the next week of prime time. So, I mean, you get the Packers and the Lions, and then you get the Chiefs at Dallas. Like, I couldn't ask for much more for those. So maybe they're just saving them all up and just being like, hey, you guys can suffer a couple weeks. We're giving you a big day. Unfortunately, we have to watch the freaking late game. Well, that is Baltimore against Cincinnati with fucking what is that, 10.5 point spread? I think it opened.
That's kind of a banger. Anytime I can get Joe Flacco in there, I don't care. It's like Jameis almost. Yeah. He's like super budget Jameis. He makes it interesting enough. Obviously, last week was a little ugly. But yeah, either way, still think I don't know. I still think he can give us a good show. And primetime, all the people watching. Also, didn't they activate Joe Burrow's practice window? I don't know if that.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. I picked him up for IR spot in my shit league. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I actually agree with your Woody Marks take a lot too. That's a lot of my problem is like the usage of just up the middle. The funny part though is the Bills in terms of defending those like zone up the middle runs are like one of the worst teams in football. So I think the coaching staff's just going to look at that data and go, no, more. But I just rather give those carries to fucking like Nick Chubb. If you want someone to go for 2-3 yards at a time, exactly. I would use Marks like they used Henderson, in with the Patriots, where you get him outside runs, pitches, screens, all that kind of stuff. Like get him the ball in space. Because even when he was in college at USC, this guy wasn't a 20 carry per game guy. His carries are 15 and a half, 16 and a half right now. I would much rather Woody Marks be getting 12, 11 as kind of a duo. And the problem is his duo partner, Nick Chubb, is just old as hell, and what I think my boy Dare is even active. I guess he does special teams and stuff and gets like a catch once a month or so, but he's not getting any burn either. So I don't know. It's just like Woody Marks' numbers, if they were lower, I'd consider them. But dude, his props, he's at like 15 and a half carries and like yards in the high 60s. Like I know the Bills defense is bad, and I know Sean Tucker just cooked him last week, and people are kind of, getting fired up off that, but I don't know if I can really get there, especially as underdogs. If Josh Allen gets up 10-0, that you're probably cooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I would rather have Marks do 12 carries, like 4 catches, like something like that versus 16 carries and his prop is like 1.5 catches, right? So it's just like give him some space. He makes big things happen when he was, more of the scat back there. But I don't have anything else really to talk about in this game, Stu. Do you have anything that you want to bring up possibly for people if something comes out or a line gets to a certain spot?
Yeah, I mean, I like the the Bills backup tight end Hawes under. There are no lines up yet, but last week it was 1.5. This is kind of the same situation, so I'd assume it'd be 1.5. He had 0 catches. He's a blocker only, not really a pass catcher. Dawson Knox is much more of a blocker. And yeah, I guess maybe outside wide receivers. Like, who knows what's going to happen with Keon Coleman, right? I mean, the guy gets freaking benched last week, and then I bet Joshua Palmer. I get like 7 points of CLV, and that obviously doesn't matter at all because he still doesn't do shit. Fucking Shavers comes out of nowhere and kind of becomes the guy. So you don't want to mess with outside wide receivers against the Texans in general. And now they got, 3 of them that they're kind of rotating if Keon Coleman plays? I mean, 4 maybe. So I would just say unders in the wide receiver core. I think they lean on the running backs, but it's like you can't even trust James Cook anymore because freaking Ty Johnson and Ray Davis are getting in there as well. So I don't know. It's like James Cook, maybe alts with like Nico Collins, like to bring them both down a little bit would probably be like the parlay I could think of for overs. But besides that, I'm really not liking any other overs in this game. It would just be various unders on the Bills.
Yeah, Terrence popping in here, obviously friend of the show. We appreciate you popping in, Terrence, seeing us live. Thoughts on Schultz in Thursday Night Football here? You think that's a spot you'd want to go to? Obviously, Bills do have decent linebackers, so that's the only thing that kind of makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, they're decent on paper. I don't rate Matt Milano anymore. 3 years ago, 100%. He was taking out Kelsey and shit like that. But, I mean, he's, I think, more of a Marshawn Lattimore kind of figure at this point where you see the name, you go, oh, that guy's good. And then you watch him play, you go, okay, maybe not the same guy anymore. But my problem is Dalton Schultz is legitimately my least favorite player in football. I never win bets on this guy. Like, over, 3-4 years, giving it a good shot. I won on him once this year. I think I'm maybe 1-1 or 1-2 betting him this year, but I fucking hate Dalton Schultz. He's inconsistent. He's not very good. He hasn't looked good since he was in Dallas. He really looks like a below average tight end right now. And yeah, he's just inconsistent week to week. They fall behind. They get in these trailing game scripts, and he still doesn't do anything half of these games. So for me, it's just I see the logic, but I'm done with Dalton Schultz. Like, I hate trying to decipher when this guy is going to show up or not. I want my boy Cade Stover to get back and take over that job because Cade Stover's good. And the hype train was rolling. The fucking GM called him the best player they had in preseason, and then the guy gets hurt week 1 or week 2 or whatever, and is gone for the year. But yeah, I'm as pretty much as anti Dalton Schultz. Exactly. Cashville knows what's up right here. But once again, I do, just to be a little bit more fair. I see the logic because that's the part of the field I want to target with Houston as well. You know what I mean? That's the over the middle. There's no Petrie as well. Petrie out is a pretty big deal. So there's just a little bit more weakness over the middle. But can I trust Dalton Schultz? Or sorry, Petrie's on that team. I'm fucking stupid. He's on the Texans. But yeah, either way, both teams actually you really want to target over the middle here. But so yeah, I like the logic with Schultz, but I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to be at the window.
Awesome.
Also, one more thing. They spread the ball around so much. I don't know if people have been paying attention ever since Higgins started getting in there as well. They're getting everybody the ball, which is like, for me, that would almost have to be like, I'm just going to Davis Mills at that point. You know what I mean? Hutchinson is still lined at 15. Like, they're getting guys targets just out of nowhere. So there's a lot of competition.
Perfect. All righty. Thoughts on Shavers this week from Cashville? Do you want to go there? Is that a spot you want to go?
It would be the lines are too high though for me right now. I think even at like 19 or whatever, just because 1 week is enough to be like. I mean, I guess if Keon Coleman's going to keep skipping meetings, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but if Keon Coleman doesn't play, I would like it more, obviously, because that just guarantees him stats. But right now, the way I'd look at it, I'd only go longest reception or 30-plus yard catch or like 40-plus yards, like those kind of plays, because his route tree is like, go downfield. And hey, Josh Allen is a pretty good quarterback to have for that kind of route tree. But also, if they're running all game, how many of those opportunities are you even going to get, right? I mean, their offensive coordinator needs to see about 14 James Cook carries before he even decides to do anything else. So I don't know. I just think there's too many mouths to feed right now and not enough volume to go around against a good Texans defense. So it would be under receptions over longest reception kind of logic.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's take a peek here and get ready to roll into some NBA. Let's move that here. So, yeah. Do you have anything? Are you looking at NBA? Any NBA? That's a lot harder than I thought to say. Any NBA yet, Stu? Or are you still locked in on football right now?
I mean, I'm locked in on football, but obviously, I'm trying to get back into it a little bit more here. I want to start, betting it a little bit more as we go. But yeah, definitely do not have a good grasp of what's going on. I did go to the Wizards game like a week or two ago to watch us lose by 40 points to the Cavs, which the most notable thing about that game was that in real time, it looked like we lost by 40, but we actually only lost by 39 because they misruled the trade option. Free throw, exactly. So that's the most notable thing about the game. But yeah, watching my Wizards get crushed. You know me, I'm a role player guy. I like when guys start getting injured. I know that sounds terrible to say, but when the lineups get switched around, when we're later in the year and it's backup city, that's when I really like the NBA. But yeah, I'm trying to catch up a little bit, trying to, I want to live and breathe the NBA before I bet on it, if that makes sense. Like before I make a bet to the public, I want to, in my head, know what I do in every situation when every player is out for injury and every blah, blah, blah. And I'm just not quite there yet. So I'm just kind of a fan right now, trying to catch up, get that knowledge up a little bit more. And yeah, hopefully start betting it pretty soon, maybe after this Thanksgiving break we got here.
Yes, sir. So let's get into my one bet. I got one bet here yet so far today, and I'm gonna be rolling with a first half bet for you guys. I'm gonna be playing. I've been playing a lot of these first halves, dude. I've been liking my guys here. They you find your teams, right? And right now, Miami, that's definitely one of my teams, bro. Miami and the Bulls right now kind of go along with Sacramento in terms of these first half overs because, my God, dude, there's no defense at all in any of these games.
By the way, as someone that's not locked in, what happened to Miami? They're not on defense.
Miami is the number one scoring team in the NBA. They're the fastest paced team in the NBA. So how many don't have Tyler Hero there, bro? Like they just go. They just go. Fair. Bam's been out the last 7 games, and they're just running, dude. They got big Norm Powell out there, 25 a game, dude. It's pretty nice. Portland, a team that we thought would be a defensive juggernaut, top offense now. Shout out to your boy Denny, who's been good. But I'm heading over here to Sacramento, and the reason why is we have no Sabonis here. So I'm assuming, oh my God, dude. Just of course, my dog's just, I don't know what it must be something outside. But with no Sabonis, I'm got to get that Russ start, right? Russ has got to be in that starting lineup here to be able to, make something happen. Whenever Russ plays and starts in these games and plays me 30 minutes, guarantee I'm going to be playing that over because that pace is going to move a lot faster. And I think with this OKC team, who's slowing down Shea, bro? Like, if you got Russ, we have Russ, we have Levine. If Russ goes in, that means Keon Ellis is not starting, right? If Keon Ellis is the only guy on this team who plays any defense. Keegan Murray's been out for the year so far. He's the only other guy on this team that plays defense. He hasn't even played this year yet. So OKC gets a pace-up spot here. I believe it's about 1 full possession for them. It's obviously the team that I'm wanting to do most of the work here. But OKC on the year is averaging 60.5 first half points per game. Sacramento actually sitting around 59.5. So that on average will get us there. Sacramento defensively, 4th worst defense in terms of first half, 63 points per game allowed. And guess what? None of them are as good as OKC. OKC offense, obviously towards the top in efficiency. And we get to see Shea play a lot more minutes because they have to fight off, all these injuries that they have, right? That Kenrich is out, Jalen Williams is out, ton of guys out on this team. And I know your boy Caruso's there who plays good defense, but we've been seeing a lot more AJ Mitchell out there who's a scorer. Isaiah Joe is back. He's a scorer. He ain't playing that defense out there either, right? It's going to be just go, go, go. I think Russ is going to do his thing, run up and down, kick it out. You got Levine, DeRozan there. I think this is going to go over 120, and I feel pretty damn good about it.
Yeah, no, I like the logic. I've seen enough Russell Westbrook games in my lifetime to know how he plays basketball, especially that year when he came down to the Wizards. We were just running for a year straight. Honestly, one of my favorite years of Wizards basketball of my life, which is obviously very sad to say about the state of the team, but still definitely like that logic. I know you mentioned to me something about his triple-double. Hey, if he's playing more than, 25 minutes, I'm there with you. I'm pressing that button as well, because there is no better rebounding guard, triple-double guy in the history of the NBA. You know what I mean? So even at his age right now, the dude is still moving. Like, you see him running out there. Whoever his strength and conditioning coach is, that guy needs a raise because he's going. And yeah, obviously we know that OKC is a good defense, but like you said, guys like Caruso's a postseason player. They load manage him all year long. He plays like 15 minutes a game and chills. You know what I mean? And Mitchell being out there is much better for the scoring. And yeah, it should just be a fun game. I've been seeing you do the overs a decent amount in the first half, so glad to be riding with you here.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe, AJ Mitchell, man, those two are sparks. Those guys are sparks off that bench. So hopefully we can continue to cash on these first half ones. And I don't even want to know what Shay's stat line is going to look against this defense if it stays close, because obviously it is the NBA. I don't care about the full game. I only care about the first half. I'm seeing the Thunder as an 18.5-point favorite tonight. 18.5-point favorite. So, Russ, you better get that triple-double early in that first half, buddy. Let's get that running. Yeah,
I don't know how much garbage time they play him in, but I would like his assist on its own too, because just when you think of OKC, you really don't want guys that are like paint scoring dependent when you got Chet and iHeart down there. But DeMar will hit you with mid-range all game. The rest of these guys will shot chuck. Russ is really the only one that's kind of paint dependent. So I just imagine it'll be like drive and kick city for him down there. So I don't know if he plays in blowouts or not, but like the assist itself also seemed like I saw 6.5 was the number. I might toss a couple bucks on that as well, but I probably need to see how much he plays later in these games or not, because that is a legit concern.
Yeah, it might be one of the biggest spreads I've ever seen.
Can I just say, though, as someone, once again, I'm not in the weeds this year, as someone that's bet the NBA pretty much every day for the last 5 years, games with 18 point, or not 18, we'll say like 15 or 12 or 13 more, aren't those always the games that are fucking randomly close? Like,
there's always
I would love the data. I would love to see if someone, I'm sure you can, people that are those trend guys that have that one trend website that everyone uses. I would be really curious if you could set the parameters, to a spread like a 13 or more, and then see what percentage of those underdogs actually covered. Because to me, it feels like over these last couple of years, it's actually been at a surprisingly high rate. Well, those like 7-8 point spreads are the freaking blowouts.
Yeah, one I can think of just recently was I told you about the Bulls having to head to Denver, and they kept it close. They were winning in the fourth quarter. I know Denver pulled away a little bit towards the end, but they didn't cover the 14. Obviously, a lot of that had to do with like back-to-back traveling to Denver and all that. Maybe it wouldn't have been that big because the Bulls are actually good this year. But just another one to throw out. That's the most recent one I can think of.
I think the one mental part, though, is a lot of the times if you go out there and you see some, I don't even know who the Bulls backups are at this point. You see Patrick Williams across from you, you're like, okay, we probably got a pretty good game here. When you still go to Sacramento, they still have DeMar, they still have Levine, they still have Russ. I don't think people are really taking games off against those. You know what I mean? Like, they're still the big names. They're the classic NBA guys that everybody knows. And I just feel like mentally, you don't take that gear down. Unless if you're playing like the Wizards, for example. So a lot of the times, you're going against, you're going, I don't want to say bums, but young guys that are not at your level.
Yeah, they're not proven yet.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Wizards are 16.5-point dogs today against Minnesota. It's a big spread day. Luckily for us, we're playing first half, and I ain't got to worry about it. So, Stu, anything else from you before we head out today?
Not really. Yeah, I was going to ask if you liked any props in that one, if you liked the over, but I guess we talked some Russ, some triple-double and stuff. Yeah, not much else for me.
Yeah, I think the only other ones that I want is I will be playing something in that Bulls-Portland game. Those are my two teams right now in first half.
Sure.
But that first half is just fucking so
Danny
hot.
Points is 25.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm going to unload on the first half over in that one as well. It's at 118. I don't know how. It's at 118.5. That's very low. I thought that was 124. I thought it'd be 124. So theres a little extra one if you guys want it. I'm playing that right now for I didn't even look at that game.
I believed in Denny. I believed in Denny when no one else did. When he was a fucking 6-point per game scorer, and the Wizards fans all turned on him. Everyone said Denny sucks. This guy, he's never gonna learn how to shoot. Our dumbass coach had him as a catch and shoot 3-point, 3-and-D wing instead of like a pseudo point guard, which is what he should have been. And guess what? My boy's out here scoring fucking 25 a game in the league. Let's go. I never lost faith. The one jersey I do need is a Denny jersey because that's a guy I've watched pretty much. I watched every game of his Wizards career. I always saw the vision, and now he's actually doing it. And that's hard in the NBA. To get a slow start, to be bad for 2 years, this is a talented league. You get kicked out, you get moved on. Like I'm really glad he actually could catch on and now be a real valuable piece because even if it's not, it was probably never going to happen on my team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He got better on the Wizards. That's where he took those next steps, but I don't know if he would have got to this level. So it's good to see the progress. I'm glad he's there. And yeah, hopefully he can keep it going this year. But I'm not betting him at 25 points. That's crazy.
I take his PRA a lot because he grabs a fuck ton of rebounds. Just needs to stop fucking fouling, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this motherfucker fouling out of games, dude. That's like 4 games this year. We played like 15, 20 games, and you got like 3 or 4 foul outs.
He's a great defender, though. He just doesn't get one of those whistles that the Lou Dorts get, where Lou Dort can just punch you in the face and smile at the ref, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's good." Like that was the worst part of OKC's title run last year is they foul on every fucking play, and I bet on him too, so it helped me. But it's like this is not fair. And then you watch my boy Denny; he gets a little reach in there. He's getting a flagrant, kicking him out. So that's how it is when you get that reputation, you get to stick with it, and when you get on the other end, you get kind of punished. But last thing I'll say is Derek Queen doing good. I see Cashville shouting him out. I think I've seen some positive tweets. Is he doing good?
He's been okay. I mean, he's fucked today, but he plays Denver, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Baby Jokic, guys. I mean, that's his. You know.
Oh my god, dude, Jokic is gonna make it so bad.
Is Queen like starting?
He did win because they benched Looney, I think.
Looney Tunes. What an offseason for those guys. One of the worst trades I've ever seen.
I know he's getting quite a bit of minutes, so.
I mean, hey, I bet on Derek Queen assist in the first game of preseason, and he went over. And I was watching that game going, uh-oh, this was maybe not so good of a pick. But Derek Queen's one of those guys that he could fail miserably or he could be a superstar. And I don't know how much of an in-between there's going to be, but we'll see. I'm rooting for him. He's got that clutch gene. I love watching him in Maryland, and I hope he can take over for the Pelicans as well because I'm rooting for my DMV guys out here.
Awesome. Well, we will catch you guys on Friday. I know it's hopefully going to be a little better. We get to talk about some actual games. This one was kind of tough for us, but we'll be back ready to go Friday, normal time. And, excited to get after it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you Friday, and best of luck on all your bets this week.